Welcome to this English conversation episode of the PALLATT, the podcast about language learning and teacher training by International House London. My name is Ted, and I will be speaking with my colleague Becky about her favourite films, genres, and actors. Hello, and welcome to this English conversation episode of the PALLATT. My name is Ted, and the topic of today's podcast is films. Joining us on the podcast is our very special guest and my lovely colleague Becky, who will chat to us about her favourite films. Hello Becky, welcome to the podcast and thank you for joining us. How are you doing?
Hi Ted, thank you so much. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Excellent. Very excited to talk about films today. So let's kick it off. My first question for you is, what is your favourite film?
Okay, good question. My favourite film is a little bit unusual, but it's Ratatouille, the Disney film about the rat that can cook. I absolutely love Ratatouille. I think it's really magical and funny and sweet. And it was my favourite when I was a child, so it's very special to me and it always makes me feel happy. Whenever I'm sad, I always watch Ratatouille, so it's definitely my favourite film.
Oh no, I love Ratatouille as well. I think for our generation, a lot of people love that film. It's probably one of the most popular recent Disney films, so very good answer. Was that your favourite film growing up then? Were there other films that you liked, other Disney films?
I did like other Disney films, but honestly, Ratatouille was my absolute favourite. I would watch it all the time. I had the toys, I had the games. It was my absolute favourite. But I also loved the film School of Rock with Jack Black when I was a child. And I still watch that film a lot, more than I probably should now. I'm an adult.
Yeah, that's also a bit of a cult classic, as you would say. For the listener, can you describe what School of Rock is about?
Absolutely, I'm an expert in School of Rock, so that's easy. School of Rock is a film about a teacher, or a man pretending to be a teacher, who wants to join a band, basically, and create a band. And he uses his students, who are all very musically talented, to create this amazing rock band. There's fantastic music in the film, really classic rock music. And it's with Jack Black, who is a hilarious actor. And obviously it all ends in disaster. And I love it. It's a really funny film.
Yeah, it's so popular that in London, there's even a musical after the film. I haven't seen the musical, but the film is really, really funny, as Becky says, and great music. Moving on from School of Rock, what would you say is your favourite genre? Do you prefer comedies, romantic films, action, thrillers?
So, yeah, very different to Ratatouille and School of Rock, but normally I prefer thrillers, something really exciting, with a bit of mystery maybe, or historic films. So films about war or famous leaders from history. I'm really into history, so I love to learn whilst being entertained. But thriller is probably my favourite genre. I love to be on the edge of my seat, excited and scared, and can't look away from the TV or the screen. That's my favourite genre, I think.
Yeah, the same for me actually. I love a good thriller. So yeah, you feel all nervous and excited about how the film is going to go. You can't watch thrillers every day because they can be quite scary. You need a mix with comedies as well. But yeah, thrillers are an excellent genre. Do you have a favourite thriller film?
One of my favourites is Before I Go to Sleep. Have you seen it?
No, I've never heard of it.
Ah, it's a brilliant film with Colin Firth and Nicole Kidman, and it's about a woman who has amnesia, so she can't remember things, and every night before she goes to sleep she records a video to tell her what happened the day before, and a mystery starts to unfold and it gets a bit scary. It's a great film, but once you've seen it one time, you know how it ends, you know what happens, so it's not as good the second or third or fourth time. But the first time you watch it, it's crazy. It's a brilliant, brilliant film.
Is it on Netflix or anything, or did you watch it in the cinema?
I think on Amazon Prime is where I watched it, but I don't know if it's still there.
Hopefully, give it a watch soon.
Yeah, definitely. I recommend.
Do you have a favourite actor?
Absolutely. My favourite actor in the whole world by 100 levels is Christian Bale. I think he is phenomenal in everything. He's so different in every single part he plays. It's Batman, and then it's an old politician, and then it's someone with insomnia, and he changes his body, he changes his face, he changes everything. And I think he chooses good scripts too. I think he's always in good films. I've never seen a film with Christian Bale and thought, oh, it wasn't my favourite. Every one I see, I absolutely love. So I love Christian Bale. I think he's the best.
I love the Batman films. They're some of my favourite, particularly superhero movies. They're definitely the best. But yeah, as you said, Christian Bale, the range in his movies is incredible, and yeah, all of them are so compelling, so interesting. The way he changes his body, changes his character. He is one of the best actors of his generation. Can you remember what the last film you saw in the cinema was?
Yes, I don't go to the cinema very much anymore because it's so easy to watch films at home, on the sofa, with food, for free. So I don't go very often, but I did have to go for the Elvis film that came out last year, the biopic about Elvis's life. I'm a big fan of Elvis, and so I thought I need to go day one when it comes out in the cinemas and see it straight away. And it did remind me why going to the cinema is so good, because the big screen, the music, the atmosphere is completely different to being at home on the sofa, you know. So it was definitely worth it, and the film was incredible. I really recommend. It was by Baz Luhrmann, who is a fantastic director, one of my favourites, and it was really unique and interesting, and even being someone who knows a lot about Elvis, because I'm a big fan, I learnt lots of new things in the film, so I thought it was great. Yeah, loved it.
I think that was the last film I saw in cinema as well, coincidentally.
Really? Yeah.
I like Elvis's music, but I'm not as big a fan as you, I imagine. But so I didn't know that much about his life and his past, and I think the film portrays that really well, and he's led a very interesting life. And then the music as well in the film was amazing because of Netflix, Amazon Prime, all these streaming services. People can watch films at the click of a button, so the culture of going to the cinema has changed. It's quite expensive now, but I think when you go and the experience and you really immerse yourself in the film and with the sound and the big screen, with the popcorn, it's a great experience. You don't go as often, but I think it's still magical.
Absolutely, I agree.
Is there a famous film which you haven't watched yet? A really, really famous film? I won't judge.
Yes, there is a film I've been wanting to watch for the last year since it came out, and that's Everything Everywhere All at Once, which won all of the Oscars. It did so well at the Oscars and all the different award shows. Everyone is talking about it, or was talking about it a few months ago, and I never had the time to watch it. I knew it was going to be really good, so I wanted to sit down, focus, not be on my phone or doing something else at the same time, and I haven't found a good time to watch it. So please, no spoilers, because I haven't seen it. I don't want to know anything. It's top of my list of films to watch. But I was told that it's best in the cinema, and I don't think it's in the cinema anymore. So I'll have to watch it at home. But hopefully it'll still be good.
It won so many awards that it's bound to be amazing. And yeah, I've heard very good things. I haven't watched it either, but like you, I would really like to. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Becky, for joining us today, telling us about your favourite films, Ratatouille, School of Rock, great films. It's been great chatting with you, and hopefully we'll have you back on the podcast sometime soon.
Absolutely. It's been great. Thanks so much, Ted.
And thank you very much for listening. We will be back next Tuesday with another English Conversation podcast, so make sure to subscribe to the Palette and tune in next week. See ya.